This is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as an educational material.
Hi guys, do you have time to think that whatever you do is sustainable? And do you know what is sustainable development is? Sustainable development is to make the world a better place for everyone without destroying the possibilities for the next generation. If you wonder if something is sustainable, you can ask yourself if you can do this over and over again forever. Sustainable development means that we need to keep three things in mind: social progress, economic development, and climate change and environment. First of all, we need to take care of our planet. We have many natural resources that must be in balance for us to live here. The climate system is one of them. This system ensures that the temperature is correct and the atmosphere emits the right or exact amount of solar energy. When we emit harmful greenhouse gas such as CO2, we pollute the atmosphere. This changes the temperature of Earth and it affects our development. How we can produce and use energy is incredibly important. Oil and coal are examples of energy that we may run out of. Water, wind, and sun, however, will always be here. Using the lasting sources of energy that renew themselves is good for the planet and can provide jobs for years to come. In economics, almost everything we develop, buy, and trades starts with nature. The smarter we use our natural resources and the better system we create for a fair distribution, the more sustainable we are. One way to contribute to a more even distribution is to be aware of what we buy and how it is produced. For example, a football. It travels far before it reaches the football player or it reaches its goal. The first material is collected from a rubber tree and they process it to create the material for the ball and printed a logo somewhere else before the third countries fused it all together. One single football is the world before it reaches its goal. This journey ties us together if we are 3, 2, 1, go. One single football is the whole world before it reaches its goals. 3, 2, 1, go. One single football is the whole world before it reaches its goals. This journey ties us together. If we are to win the battle for sustainable future, we have to play with fair rules that applies to everyone. The third one is social. Social progress. We humans is part of nature, but we're also important resources for the world, just like water, the forest, and the sun. We have minds that can create the strangest and most creative things, but for us to be the best versions of ourselves. These are certain things that must be in order, like having equal opportunities, education, safety, food, and medicine. These provide greater opportunities for us, human beings, but also for the planet. We just have to think a new ways. These three models of sustainable development must work together that can provide a sustainable world.
What is the most important of sustainable development goals? The most important sustainable development goal is the goal 13, which is the climate action, which calls for urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. This goal is crucial as climate change is a global challenge that affects every aspect of human life and environment. It requires a immediate and sustained action to mitigate its effects and adapt to the changes that are already occurring. Climate change poses a significant threat to the planet and its inhabitants. It affects various aspects of our lives, including food security, water resources, health, and our economy. Goal 13 aims to address these challenges by promoting climate resilience, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and mobilizing financial resources to support climate related projects. By focusing on climate action, we can work towards a more sustainable future. This goal encourages countries to take proactive measures to reduce their carbon footprints, transition to renewable energy resources, and implement policies that promote sustainable practices. It also emphasizes the importance of educating communities about climate change and its impacts. Achieving Goal 13 requires collaboration and cooperation at all levels, from individuals and communities to governments and international organizations. It is crucial to raise awareness about the importance of climate change. It's all about the importance of climate action and encourage everyone to take part in reducing their environmental impact. By addressing climate change, we can safeguard the planet for our future generations, protect vulnerable ecosystems, and ensure a sustainable and prosperous future for all.
Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, are a set of 17 global goals established by the United Nations in 2015 as part of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. These goals were developed to address a wide range of global challenges and promote sustainable development across economic, social, and environmental dimensions, covering areas such as poverty, hunger, health, education, gender equality, clean water, and climate action. The primary aim is to ensure that development is not only focused on economic growth, but is also inclusive, equitable, and environmentally responsible. Each goal has a specific targets and indicators to measure progress, and they are interconnected, recognizing the complex and interdependent nature of global challenges. The Sustainable Development Goals emphasize the importance of collaboration and partnerships among governments, businesses, civil society, and individuals to achieve sustainable development on a global scale. The 2030 Agenda seeks to create a more just, inclusive, and sustainable world by addressing pressing issues such as poverty, inequality, environmental degradation, and promoting social and economic well-being for all.
17 Sustainable Development Goals of UN. Goal 1. End poverty and all its forms everywhere. The Sustainable Development Goal aims to end poverty and all its forms everywhere. Its objectives include ensuring that the entire population, and especially the poorest and most vulnerable, have equal rights to economic resources, access to basic services, property and land control, natural sources, and new technologies. And poverty in all its forms everywhere involves addressing not just extreme poverty but also various kinds of poverty such as lack of education, healthcare, and basic necessities. It is a comprehensive goal to uplift individuals and communities economically, socially, and globally. Goal 2. Zero Hunger. Goal 2 is about creating a world free of hunger. The Sustainable Development Goal 2 aims to end world hunger. It focuses on ensuring that the people, especially the poorest and most vulnerable, which includes lactating mothers have access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food, ending all forms of malnutrition. The zero hunger entails tackling food insecurity by ensuring that everyone has access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food. This goal emphasizes sustainable agriculture, efficient food distribution, and equitable access to resources, aiming to eradicate hunger on a global scale. Goal 3: Health and Well-being. Sustainable Development Goal 3 seek to guarantee a healthy life and promote well-being for all ages, thus safeguarding sustainable development. Its objectives include reducing the global material mortality rate and ending avoidable deaths of newborns and children under the age of 5 years. It seeks to end epidemics and infectious and non-infection diseases through prevention and treatment. So, health and well-being provides universal health care, promote mental and physical health, and create environments that support overall well-being. It goes beyond treating illnesses, focusing on prevention, education, and fostering conditions for individuals to lead fulfilling and healthy lives.
Sustainable Development Goal number 4 is quality education. It is the main way to emerge from the poverty cycle, and it empowers people to lead more sustainable, healthier lifestyle and thus benefiting society as whole. Education is also a key driver of sustainable development. It is an essential tool for increasing the understanding of complexities of the modern world and the interdependence of its various components. It is crucial for fostering values, developing skills, and building knowledge to ensure a sustainable future. So, Goal 5 of Sustainable Development Goals. The Goal 5 is to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Gender equality is a basic human right, and it is also essential factor for building a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. According to the United Nations, this goal aims to end all forms of discrimination against women and girls, eliminate all forms of violence, and ensure equal participation and opportunities in decision making. Achieving gender equality is not a fundamental human right, but it is also essential to achieving a sustainable future. It has been proven that empowering women and girls helps to stimulate economic growth, improve the quality of life for women, men, families, and communities, and sustainably increase the well-being of the future generations. So the next goal is clean water. Sustainable Development Goal 6 aims to ensure the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all billions of people are still lack access to safe water, sanitation, and hygiene. And water scarcity is a growing problem, exacerbated by conflict and climate change. It is about ensuring availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. The goal has several targets, including achieving universal and equitable access to safe water and affordable drinking water for all, achieving access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all, improving water quality, and protecting and restoring water-related ecosystems. That's all.
So, good morning. So, I am here to represent the Goal 7, Affordable and Clean Energy. So, I am Sebastian Paco Biumagta. So, SDG. So, the meaning of SDG is Sustainable Development Goals. So, it aims to ensure access to affordable, secure, sustainable, and modern energy for all. So, currently, according to the tracking SDG 7, the Energy Progress Report 2023, there are 675 million people living without electricity worldwide. So this involves promoting the use of clean energy sources such as renewable energy to reduce environmental impact and enhance energy efficiency, making energy more affordable and accessible globally. So here are some example places that lack reliable access to electricity. So first is the rural regions. Remote or isolated rural areas may lack infrastructure for electricity. Two is sub-Saharan Africa. Many countries in this region face challenges in providing widespread electricity access. And the third, parts of South Asia. Some areas in countries like India, Bangladesh may have limited access to electricity. Conflict zones are the fourth. Areas affected by conflict often face disruptions in infrastructure, including power supply. And the last is the certain islands. Some isolated islands may have limited or no access to stable electricity grid. Goal 8. Decent work and economic growth. So, SDGA understands that inclusive and sustained economic growth can drive progress, create decent jobs for all and improving living standards. So examples of initiatives related to Goal 8 include job creation programs, implementing policies and projects to create employment opportunities and particularly in sectors with growth potential. Second is the entrepreneurship support, providing support for small and medium-sized enterprises and entrepreneurs to stimulate economic growth and job creation. Lastly, the labor rights and standards, ensuring fair and safe working conditions, promoting workers' rights, and combating child labor and forced labor.
Goal number 9: Industry, Innovation and Infrastructures. Sustainable Development Goals or SDG 9 refers to the need to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. To this end, it seeks to increase the contribution of industry to employment and GDP, doubling this contribution in the less developed countries as well as increase scientific research and modernize infrastructures. So, overall, is SDG 9 seeks to create a foundation for sustainable development by promoting resilient infrastructures, encouraging sustainable industrial practices, fostering innovation, and ensuring that the benefits of economic growth are inclusive and accessible to all. So next is goal number 10, reduce inequalities. So Sustainable Development Goals or SDG number 10 promotes the social, economic, and political inclusion of all people regardless of age, gender, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, economic status, or other status. And also it aims to ensure equal opportunities, including through the elimination of discriminatory laws, policies, and practices and the promotion of appropriate measures. So overall, SDG number 10 strives to create a world where everyone, regardless of their background, enjoys social, economic, and political inclusion. It calls for the removal of discriminatory barriers, the promotion of equal opportunities, and the implementation of measures that actively work towards reducing inequalities on a local and global scale. The ultimate goal is to create a more just and equitable world for all. And lastly is goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. So SDG goal 11 aims to make cities more inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. This includes ensuring access for all people to adequate housing and basic services, ensuring accessible and sustainable urbanization and transport, and safeguarding the world's cultural and natural heritage, among other targets. So, in conclusion, SDG goal number 11 envision cities as vibrant, inclusive, and sustainable hubs that prioritize the well-being of all residents while minimizing their environmental impact. Achieving the targets set by this goal requires concerted efforts from governments, communities, and stakeholders to create cities that are resilient, safe, and provide a high quality of life for all.
Goal 12: Responsible Consumption and Production. Sustainable Development Goal 12 aims to change the current model of production and consumption to ensure responsible and efficient consumption of natural resources and sustainable means of production. Goal 13: Climate Action. SDG 13 focuses on the need to take urgent action to end climate change, which affects every country in the world. According to the UN, climate scientists have already shown that people are responsible for global warming over the past 200 years. Human activities, such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, loss of forests, or agricultural and livestock activities using fertilizers and other chemicals, have been the main drivers of climate change. Goal 14: Life Below Water. SDG 14 seeks to conserve and use the ocean, seas, and the marine resources in a sustainable manner. It therefore seeks to prevent and reduce marine pollution, all of kinds, to minimize and address the effects of ocean acidification, and to regulate fisheries, among other objectives.
Goal 16. Goal 16 is about peace, justice, and strong institutions. Goal 16 is about promoting peaceful and inclusive societies, providing access to justice and for all, and building effective, accountable, and inclusive education at all levels. People everywhere should be free or fear from all the forms of violence and feel safe as they go about their lives, whatever their ethnicity, faith, or sexual orientation. Compassion and strong moral compass is essential to every democratic society. Yet persecution, injustice, and abuse still runs rampant and it's tearing at the very fabric of civilization. We must ensure that we have strong institutions, global standards of justice, and a commitment to peace everywhere. In achieving the goal 16, we should aim at the targets. We, targets to help everyone make sure that we meet the global goals. Target number 1: reduce violence everywhere. Number 2: protect the children from abuse, exploitation, trafficking, and violence. 3: promote the rule of law and ensure equal access to justice. 4: combat organized crime and illicit financial and arms flows. 5: substantially reduce corruption and bribery. 6: develop effective, accountable, and transparent institutions. 7: ensure responsive, inclusive, and representative decision making. 8: strengthen the participation in global governance. Number 9: provide universal legal identity. Ensure public access to information and protect fundamental freedoms. Strengthen the national institution to prevent violence and combat terrorism and crime. Promote and enforce non-discriminatory laws and policies. That's all.